was a free trade agreement that was passed in North America that made it so that Mexico had to change their constitution to allow for the privatization of the ejidos, or the collective land. And so here Farmer B gets a deed from the agriculture department to his own hexagon of land, and then a loan from the bank. So here he is, Farmer B is proudly farming his own hexagon of land. But then here you can see the fruit of his labor. It doesn't add up, it doesn't measure up to the subsidized imports coming in from the US. So this is a big scandal. What the US does is they pay their farmers so that they can sell the grain cheaper than it costs to produce. And so they do what they call grain dumping, where they sell their grain under market value in different countries, and then they put small farmers out of business so that they can grab their land. So that's exactly what happens. Farmer B can't repay his loan from the bank, and so he has to sell the land and is forced into migration. So he either ends up here, going up north to work on farms in the US, or he ends up in this sweatshop. You know, they go to the city and then they have to work at a factory where they have no workers' rights because there's too many people in the cities that want jobs. And so this sweatshop scene, the factory scene here, can people see it okay? Everything? So the factory scene right here, the name brand clothing is flying out of the sewing machines and into the front door of the shopping mall, which is built on top of a church, which is built on top of a pre-Columbian temple. And that's to represent the phases of cultural imperialism. So first it was the churches that came in and they destroyed the temples. This is a very literal metaphor because many of the churches were actually built on top of temple sites, sometimes from the same stones. So first they came in and they dominated their culture by imposing religion, and then they imposed capitalism, which is the new church of consumerism. And you can see that this dynamic, this frame, this fabric, that this quetzal bird is weaving. And so you can see the quetzal bird, it's a symbol of Guatemala. And it's weaving a bird tapestry, you can see the birds here, which is to signify that it's making something of its own culture. But that culture is being destroyed by these oppressive dynamics of, first cultural oppression via religion and then cultural oppression via capitalism. Yeah. And so